CNN has really exposed themselves as the cesspool of so-called news. Unfortunately for them, they just made it worse by going rogue during the Maryland school shooting, and even viewers were shocked by what they showed on live television. At this point, CNN is really struggling. As if their ratings being in the toilet wasn't bad enough, the fact that people are calling them fake news at an increasing rate really isn't helping things. Then again, they really only have themselves to blame, seeing the constant crap they put out there. Yet, this isn't even their biggest flaw, although it's among the top of the list. They have most recently shown that there is nothing they wouldn't do in order to have viewers tune in. Demonstrating just that today, they did the unimaginable. After news broke of the shooting at Great Mills High School in Maryland that has made national headlines, the school immediately went on lockdown as local and federal law enforcement stormed the facility. In turn, terrified students were locked inside of the classrooms that they were in when shots first rang out. Striving to be cutting edge, CNN decided to go rogue in a way that only they would. Too bad for them, things would blow up in their faces as even viewers were left shocked by what they showed on live television. As it turns out, they apparently wanted the biggest scoop and decided to contact a terrified student who was in the school at the time. Desperate for ratings, CNN host John Berman first asked the frightened student what had happened, only for Jonathan to say that 7 or so people had been shot in the school's art hallway. However, the liberal network had already made their first few mistakes. For one, viewers were disgusted that they would speak to a traumatized student who could still potentially be in harm's way. And of course, this was only made worse by the fact that CNN decided to forego any and all fact-checking. They didn't contact any of the local or federal law enforcement agencies that responded to the incident to see if their information was correct before airing the conversation. CNN kept on talking to the Jonathan as if there was nothing wrong with their choice to do so. It first started off, "I heard that someone put a gun against their head, and I thought it was one person who'd gotten hurt," the terrified student explained, even though he also said that about 7 had been shot. Maybe trying to get the gun? I'm not really sure. Trying to get maximum effect out of the situation, Berman then upped the ante by asking if Jonathan had heard any gunshots. However, the boy would simply respond by saying that he was surprised he didn't. Unfortunately, this wasn't even the worst of what was to come. Clearly hurt in the interview, Jonathan told the CNN hosts that police had arrived and that he had to go. Rather than thank him for his time, Berman instead asked the student if he could stay on the phone while being escorted out. However, Jonathan hung up the phone immediately after. This is disgusting on so many levels, and CNN is really paying for their little stunt right now as they're being attacked on social media. In fact, BizPac Review reports that they're even suffering a backlash from the Washington Post, and that's really saying something. CNN doing live interview with student on lockdown at the Maryland high school, where school shooting was reported. He says he has to go. BC police are at the door. CNN asks if he can stay on phone even as he leaves. strange new reality in real-time reporting with technology, Post reporter David Nakamura tweeted, adding, "Student said he didn't hear gunshots, but then CNN asks him, how many people were injured, and he said he heard 73, then adds he first heard it was 1. Interesting implications of this kind of reporting. CNN is despicable, and if you ever needed proof, this is it. The liberal network has hit a new low. Not only are they comfortable parading children around as political props, they're now actively using them for the sake of ratings. It's time to shut this nonsense down once and for all.